Hey, how's it going? This video is going to be about installing a new steering wheel for your golf cart. So this steering wheel install is going to be for any golf carts. Basically, it should be the same setup. You're going to remove the existing one. Normally the existing one is going to have one nut that holds it on, and then you should be able to pull that off in a perfect world and then install your new steering wheel. So you're going to see this video. I'm going to show you the process I went through and some of the issues I ran into. Every time I say something is the biggest pain in the butt I dealt with, there's always something else that was a bigger pain in the butt. So basically, I think this one topped that off, topped any other pains in the butt that I've had, and you'll see what I ran into. So ideally, in a perfect world, you're going to take out that one screw or that one nut in the middle, and then you're going to pull that steering wheel off, maybe jiggle it, and it comes right off, and then you put your new one on. Well, just guess what? Peter didn't run into that. So stay tuned, see what I had to do, and I'm hoping this kind of would help you guys overcome any obstacles that come your way, because I for sure ran into quite a few obstacles. Thank you, and enjoy. I'm going to show you how to take this steering wheel off. So basically, you got these screw holes. You're just going to remove these screws here. One. So we're gonna go ahead and take this one off. There you go. So to take this off, what you gotta do is gonna be on there, and there's these little hooks. So you gotta kind of push down and pull out. So you got this one bolt here. It's a number 15 socket. Remove that. Excuse the shaky camera. Off. I already took that off one time, so it came out a little easier. So the issue I ran into, guys, is this thing is stuck. So I tried everything. Feet up on the dash, shaking it, a little bit of heat. Nothing could get this thing off. I was standing up on here trying to pull this. This is not budging. So I purchased this thing. I don't know if it's going to work. I really hope it does. And I'm going to hook it up the best way I possibly can, the way it is, and hope for the best. All right, so basically this would go on here. These hooks are going to grab on to the outside of a steering wheel, and I'm going to just ratchet this down and hope that it's enough to pull it off. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm on video. I can't video it because I don't have nothing to hold the camera at the moment. I got to buy one. So I'm going to start working on it and see what happens. All right, so like I said, this thing is really stuck. Anything I did, it wouldn't come off. I was smacking it back on the backside with a hammer, no budging. So I bought this gear puller. I don't know if it's gonna work. It looks like it might not. I'm hoping for the best because I don't feel like dealing with this. The way the gear puller works, normally these hooks would grab onto the gear or whatever, and it would screw this down and it would pull the gear out. This has nowhere to attach to. I did adjust this, but there's not much adjustment there. What I'm gonna end up doing is trying to wrap this strap around this, this part, and around the steering wheel, hoping that I get a good secure, nice and secure around the steering wheel. And I'll start ratcheting this down, and hopefully it pulls the steering wheel off. So let's hope for the best. All right, so I kind of rigged this thing up with some straps, and I'm hoping that there's straps around this. I got it on a few spots here, so I'm hoping with the straps around it, by twisting this thing or turning it, I got a big bar here, by turning it, it's gonna pull it out. So I'm gonna move because it's a pretty big bar. It kind of gets in the way. So I'm gonna keep going and see if it pops off. I re-strapped it because the first round didn't work, so I kind of made sure it overlapped and crisscrossed a little better. Hopefully this is gonna work. Otherwise I gotta buy something else to try it. So once again, I'm gonna spin this, and I'm hoping that this pops this steering wheel off. There's another product out there that has actually screws that screw in on each side, and there's like a ring at the back. I saw that after I purchased this, but hopefully this works. We'll see. I'll tune back in and let you know what the result is. No success. Put two straps on there. I twisted it. The thing is, the straps are stretching a little bit, so it's not really getting a good firm grip. So I think this has to be part of my problem. Like I said, this thing is, I stepped on here, try to yank on it, it's not coming off. So I'm gonna look into this other part, see what it's gonna cost. Hopefully it's not gonna be too expensive, and I'm gonna try to maybe order that and get it off. This thing does not work, at least for this application. I see it working for something else, for other applications, but for this it's not working. This is all getting bent up here, and plus it's kind of messing up the threads. Hopefully I don't have a problem with that next. We'll see. It's everything I tried with the straps didn't work, so now I'm just cutting this thing to pieces so I can stick these arms in here, and I'm hoping that this is going to be enough grip I could get to pull this off. My last case scenario would be to cut it all off, which I want to avoid that because I don't want to scuff up the shaft. But this is what it is. I'm going to tighten this down and hopefully it pulls this off. So we'll see. So that didn't work. As you can see, it pulled the plastic up. It didn't work at all. So now my thing is I'm going to try to cut it. Looks like there's some rust in there. I'm going to have to try to cut it and see what happens. I was trying to avoid that. This thing budging. So I cut this thing off, cut this out, and now I got this big chunk of metal. So now I got to try to cut this off. I was trying to tap it out, but I don't know what's going on with that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try this again and see if I can pull it off with that. Alright, so I got the steering wheel off finally. I did have nicked the metal here a little bit. This was the biggest pain in the butt I've had to deal with so far. So I cut the steering wheel off. You can see I cut out holes so I can stick this thing. This thing is useless when it comes to steering wheels, at least this kind of steering wheel. So then I cut this off. This is part of the steering wheel. And then under that there was this metal piece, okay, which went on this here. So I had to cut a slit in it, and then I put a chisel in it, and that slit, and smacked it with the hammer a couple times, and then it came off. This was very, very difficult to work with. The beginning parts of these threads are not looking that great, but I was able to screw the bolt back in slowly, and I also used my hammer, my large wrench here, that for me to get the screw down. So that's fine. So now I'm going to clean this up and then go on from there. Install the steering wheel. And now I'm going to install the steering wheel. I purchased this, and then you have to purchase this separately, which just goes on here. So I'm going to unscrew these pieces here so I can expose the holes so I can attach it to this when I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the steering wheel is now installed. This thing was a pain in the butt. So I got it on. Sorry I didn't show you. Basically, this piece right here, just goes on and you align it. You know, make sure it can only go on one way. So make sure your wheels are straight, and then you align that, and then you go ahead. I just put the hole in the center that towards the middle, and mount it. Put these pieces back on, and then put all the screws in. All right. So that's that. So it's in. I think this was a bigger pain in the butt than I expected. I wasn't expecting the steering wheel to beat me up, but it did. So that's the steering wheel. Got the carbon fiber there, carbon fiber there. All right, so the next step is get my seats done. I just gotta find my nail gun or staple gun. If I can't find my staple gun, then I'm gonna have to go buy one. So far, what's left is the side mirrors, the seatbelt kit, the body, the windshield, the back seat kit, the front struts, and the roof. So hopefully I can get everything done by Friday. Very excited that finally got that on, man. It was not fun. Alright, so that was the worst case scenario that could happen to you when trying to remove a steering wheel. Okay, all you need to do, have a grinder or a multi-tool, something that could cut metal, cut a slit in that piece, and then knock it out with a chisel. Ideally, you just remove that center nut in the steering wheel, and you should be able to jiggle that steering wheel right out, and that's it. In a perfect world. This is not a perfect world, and unfortunately, Peter doesn't get those perfect situations. I've been running into little issues here and there. Each time I think one thing is a pain in the butt, there's something worse that comes up after. But after this one, I don't think I ran into too many things that were a pain in the butt for me, which is good. Alright, so thank you again for watching. I hope you were able to watch the whole video all the way through, and I hope it was beneficial to you. But basically, you got to experience a worst case scenario on how to remove a steering wheel. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and leave a comment. And I'll be more than happy to try to answer you back in those comments. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one.